we have got ourselves something different this time around. It is a Halo Wars 2 1 versus 1 match. And in fact, not just one match, but two matches. And so this is going to be a very different type of content that we're trying here. If you do like it, feel free to leave a like to let me know that this is stuff that you want to see going down the road. But for now, let's go into the reason why I am trying to do this. So I am playing against a cutter, and I am playing as Jerome here. It's Johnston here, excuse me. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to try and build more self-confidence as well as ownership for when I play my matches, so that way if I do lose, it's because of the mistakes that I have made, and just stay with that mentality as a whole, but also just being able to support your team and have a different outlook of the game as a whole. 1v1 plays so much more differently than 3 versus 3. You've seen a lot of high level content for 3 versus 3 and 1 versus 1. Hopefully you'll be seeing stuff like that as well. And so here, just like what the title mentioned, I have gone against mass barracks, at least 1 to 2 barracks that the enemy has made, and I am going to have quite the learning experience for this, if I'm going to go ahead and put it that way. So I decided to go barracks for 4th point, didn't bother grabbing any minis, and right away, that's a big mistake. I did not recognize how important minis are in 1 versus 1 compared to 3 versus 3, as well as just how different the map is on the openness and where units can be positioned and be moved at as well. And so the advanced gen is being upgraded, and we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a jackrabbit so we can see what the enemy is going to go ahead and do. And I would just want to start the production of Hellbringers right away, just so I can have a presence in the map. So that was my mindset. Let's get units out right away. Let's have a presence so we can go ahead and do something about the situation in case something does show up. And so right away we already see that dark blue or light blue is trying to get the power set up over there. And so right away, if you look at the mini-map, a mini base was already taken by the enemy, and it was just recently taken as well. And so I already lost my mini base to an enemy, and now I have to go ahead and start destroying that. And then if you look at the mini map again, a second mini base was taken from me as well. And so right away, I didn't really know how to go about this and how to stop this. So I do have bunker, which is going to be great, but I didn't really know what is the best way to go about this. Do I fight this? Do I get a scout in? And so I'm going to send a Hellbringer over to this mini base at the top. We do have a scout, and right now all we're seeing is a bunch of Marines right now. We haven't seen anything too differently, but one thing I did not do with this jackrabbit is also scout the mini base that's happening in the back of the map. And so light blue has gotten another mini base, and so right now we still don't know what they're doing. We know that they have a bunch of Marines, and we know that they've gone leader, and so that's really the only information that I have for this game so far. And so we're gonna go ahead and see if we can try and keep making snipers. Because I saw hero, I want to make snipers to deal with that, get that second gen up and going. That's going to be pretty nice. And then we're going to see if we can just start applying pressure around the map. I do have a little hit squad on this left hand side that's going to start working on these mini bases because of the fact that they ended up giving them. And there you go, here's a sign. Dark blue or light blue has shown up with some Hellbringers as well. So that means barracks play is happening this game as well. And remember, we are going against a cutter, so their infantry is going to be moving faster than mine. This is something I did not take into account for this game, with their infantry being able to move faster than mine. So we're going to try and start working on the sentinels that we saw just a few seconds ago, and we're going to send our hit squad to start working on the next mini base. But before we did that, we told our units to go ahead and attack the little node characters over there. But if you look, they're not even doing anything. They're just standing there taking fire. And so right now I have 2 Marines just getting destroyed right now by these sentinels, and they're not even engaging them. And so I don't understand why that was happening. I'm guessing it is a bug of some sort, but all in all, that was a very frustrating moment. But we have a good amount of snipers. We're getting some Marines out. Once again, our Marines are just being so dumb over here. They're just standing still, doing absolutely nothing. And so we're going to work on getting rid of that final sentinel so we can start capturing this node. And so now we're going to keep our Marine production, and there you have it. two Hellbringers coming down the ramp. And so this is more of a sign that the barracks play is starting to get more serious. There was one before, but it does seem like there's a second one looking at the replay of this game. And so now Dark Blue has shown their army. I'm going to keep calling them Dark Blue at this point. I've made plenty of snipers. I do have some Hellbringers. And so my play is to go ahead and try and get the node on this side. And then I want to go ahead and see if I can set up around mid to see if there's a way I can go ahead and pressure that middle base. And so my pop is looking very good. I'm at 75 out of 80. I'm taking rid of 2 mini bases so far, so things are just looking very good so far. And now we're going to send our units over to see if we can also deal with the mini base that's set up over there. I kind of had a brain fart there. And so now we're at max pop. We're looking really good. This is our time to go ahead and get a second base. Our Marines are going to start working on these nodes. Just got grenade throw, which is going to be very nice too. And so now we see light blue coming in at the corner of this map, going after this power node. And so I'm going to have a Mac get ready to go down, and it was a very nice juicy Mac. Put a lot of damage all in all, and did a lot of damage. So now we're going to try and get this engagement. We do have a weird flank that's happening. And so now I'm trying to micro and trying to get snipers in here. But as you can see, there's a bunch of Hellbringers that keep on coming down. Spartan Slam is coming down on the bunker as well, which is going to be unfortunate because the stun is going down. And so all of a sudden, my army's just starting to fall apart. ODST drop is coming down. And my pop is still looking strong, 72 out of 80 right now. And now we just drastically dropped to 63, now to 54. This hit squad that's happening at the top, if it was with my main army, we would have been able to deal with this. But now at this point, I feel like I've lost everything. I don't have turrets at my base. So if he pushes my base, I'm going to end up losing. That's the assumption that I made, and I'd end up leaving this game. Which then leads us off to this game. So this game, I am now playing as Jerome. I so happen to match against the same exact person, and I've made a couple improvements that I was thinking about during this off time when I was searching. So Cutter, as I mentioned before, Cutter is able to move incredibly fast with their infantry. I've known this, but how do you try and compete in a way such that your infantry doesn't get overwhelmed the way that they did? That's something I was trying to consider in this matchup. 2, let's grab minis right away. Okay, let's not have a situation where they took the minis, where all of a sudden I have a portion of my army trying to work on a base that is then missing out on a crucial fight. 3, try to do better management with my snipers. My snipers are the most important units in the game, and I caught my units in a weird position. And so this time around, I want to be able to see if I can set my army up in a way such that even if they choose to push me, it's going to be costly if they choose to push me. And so I want to have a good distance with my snipers when that gets established. And so here we go. We got ourselves a 2 supply pad with a gen. Our mini base was grabbed. We got the supply pad going, and right away the enemy ends up sending a Marine to go ahead and take the power right away, which is very unfortunate. So I did make a Marine to go ahead and start dealing with that. We're going to get our upgrade, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our second mini in this game. So I've already made improvements. And now we're just going to go ahead and see what we can do. My goal is to just keep producing Marines for now until we see a little bit more information on what's going on by the enemy. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just continue to grab supplies all around the map, keep making Marines, and with what I've got, we're going to see what we can do. So I want to see if I can grab the power that's on their side of the map, and then we're going to have just enough for a gen, which will be very nice. And so I'm sending my Marine over to go grab those supplies, and then there you go. You already see a red flag. There's some Hellbringers already over there. We have Marines that are just chilling over there as well. And so that's my cue. I'm going to go ahead and get the barracks up right away, and we're going to get time for heroes so we can get that little boost. And there you have it. You have 3 Hellbringers already that are coming out. And so that's my cue. We're going to keep on making Marines. We're going to upgrade this gen because we're going to need some snipers. This time around, I want to be a lot more prepared than I was before. And so I may be behind on the amount of infantry units he has from the barracks. But I want to see if there's a way that I can go ahead and get at least ahead in the sniper count. And so my plan is to get a second mini, then go ahead and get a second barracks associated with it and go from there. For now, we're going to try and go after these nodes. We're going to keep sniper production as healthy as possible. and then try and take a good engagement. And remember what I mentioned, Cutter's infantry is incredibly fast, and so you want to make sure that you have good spacing and a way that you will be able to retreat if they end up pushing. And so there I realized, right, I needed that second barracks, as I mentioned, because I knew I was a little bit behind in that Hellbringer game. And so we're still going to try and gather some resources around the map, but I do want to see if I can continue to make units and then see if I can go after a second base if possible. And so we're starting to move around the map, and then I realized, hey, let's go ahead and go after the middle node. And so that's exactly what we're going to end up doing. Sniper production is going to continue, and there you have it. We have more visibility of the Hellbringers that are at the top over there. So if they end up pushing, I want to be able to fall back right away if I see that happening, and that's what I plan on doing. And so there you have it. Red's starting to go ahead and push this. I'm going to take this engagement at first, but then I see the rest of his units coming in, and this is going to be my cue to fall back for just a little bit. And so we still have all units. We're going to cycle our reinforcements over to the other side, and we're going to send our Vet 1 Marines to go ahead and try and capture the right node on the other side. So Hellbringer production is continuing. I'm thinking about grabbing a second base, but then I saw all those units over there, and that's a lot of units. And there you go, Red is already starting to chase me, and this is what I mentioned about just having a good distance so I can be able to just fall back as a whole. I did send the majority of my Marines to go ahead and fight that situation over there, but fortunately I did all units to send them back, so that worked out. We dodged a Spartan slam that was coming in, and so I ended up losing that mini base, which is quite unfortunate, but I am going to start building a turret in the back left portion of my map. The bad habit that I have is continuously producing turrets in the front portion of the map of my base instead of the back. And so there you have it, right? I started doing it there, and then I realized, hey, let's get one more in the back. And so now I'm just going to be chilling at my base for now, because I don't really want to be pressured in a way such that I'm going to lose all my units, because once again, Cutter's infantry is fast and your infantry is slower. And so I'm now going to start working on Tech 2 right away. I know that I need Master Doms. That is what I'm trying to work towards in this situation, because if I can get snipers in the Master Doms, I'm going to be sitting pretty for the remainder of this game. And so once I get enough power, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can grab the second base. And there you go. And we're going to send this Hellbringer to see if the power node was taken over there, and it was not. So right now I'm playing a little bit more defensively. I want to get the second base. As I said, I'm waiting for Master Doms because he has a lot of infantry over there. And there you have it. Red has already shown up. I decided to self-destruct the base, and it turns out this was kind of a mistake. I went heal here instead of Master Dom. I kind of panicked. Turret is coming out. We're getting ourselves an anti-infantry turret right away for that back left-hand side. Thinking about popping a heal, and it may be premature, but we're going to go ahead and pop one anyways. And turns out, shouldn't even have placed it on the base. Should have placed it on the turret. But we're going to start focusing down on the Spartan right away. We do have anti-infantry turret doing some work. The snipers are taking care of the hero, which is always a good sign. ODST drop is coming down. We're going to get our second anti-infantry turret set up as well. And now it's just microing the snipers to make sure that they're still set up quite nicely. And so Time for Hero has activated, which is very nice to see. But unfortunately, we are trying to hold with the remainder of the units still attacking my base over here. And unfortunately, I upgraded that turret. Could have canceled it because of the fact that that turret was about to get destroyed. But at least this anti-infantry turret is doing relatively well, and we do have still plenty of snipers to clear out the remainder of these units over here. And so this was a very difficult situation I was able to fortunately hold, but I'm still in the back corner, right? They have the majority of the map. I don't even have anything. I have no power nodes. I have nothing like that. And unfortunately, since I got heal, and heal didn't even do anything for me in this match, I am now waiting for one more point for Master Doms, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and get the appropriate upgrades for our supplies so we can go ahead and get a little bit ahead in that economy game. But all in all, I'm looking to self-destruct my barracks because it is hero time, and I want to see if I can go ahead and capture this node with what we've got. We do have snipers, so if they do try to push us, we can go ahead and respond to this, and it looks like we are. Master Doms are now out. We have a second base to double produce Master Doms, which will be important because I want to go ahead and try and keep the snipers alive because the Hellbringers are not stopping. He now has 2 sets of Hellbringers from double barracks being produced, if not 3. and they're just trying to pressure right away. And so this is going to be my cue to just keep microing, go back and forth, wait for the opportunity, capture at least a node, and see what we can do. I don't really want to push until my master doms have snipers in them. And there's our first set. We're going to go ahead and put 3 snipers in there. We're going to continue to make these master doms because we need them. But I want to see if I can go ahead and stop them from capturing this node. I feel like it's important for me to keep it. There's still a whole bunch of Hellbringers on this side of the map right now. And so my only option right now is to get that grenade ability, so then I can start working towards combat tech marines while still using the master doms to be populated with the snipers that I have. And now that we have a Nightingale, this is going to help with the heals, but we still don't have the what I call the crux moment of master doms, where you have so much it pretty much eliminates the enemy if they're not prepared for it. So hero is being made, my economy is doing all right. We're going to start retreating right away. As you can see, the enemy started making some snipers, and it is the correct move before my master doms have come in, but we're going to start falling back. Our vehicles are slightly faster than their infantry, and because of that, we're going to be able to stop them from doing any additional damage to us. And so we're going to keep making those marines, and we're going to get another barracks up. That would be very surprising, but I know we're going to, there's the Nightingale for the hero, heals, and there we go. We're going to make the supply pad. I thought we went barracks there. Thank God we did it. And so right now we're keeping our resources low by spending it, which is very nice. We're making sure that the enemy cannot capture this left-hand node because this vision is kind of important to me. And with our master doms, we're taking out some snipers that were set up by this bridge. And I'm guessing this person was not ready for me to start pushing this side. And right now I'm just going to be waiting to get enough for that combat tech marines. I do have to be careful with the Spartan hijack. This is something that will be a problem. So right now I want to get the Mantis drop so then I can get the stun if need be. And so right now he's trying to do some micro in order to pull me into a situation that I don't want to be in. But right now I'm doing an excellent job to make sure that does not happen. And I have to be mindful of the ODST drop as well if they choose to go ahead and do that. But right now the snipers are doing amazing work. They are not upgraded, unfortunately. But we will try and see if we can get this base upgraded, and with the amount of supply that we have, let's get some gens hooked up so we can start getting the upgrades that we need. And here we go. ODST drop is going to come down. No, it was a Cyclops drop. They did get one of my master doms. Fortunately, it was one that doesn't have anything in it. And so with the amount of snipers that we have and our hero, we're going to be able to take out their hero out immediately. And we did make additional snipers to go ahead and deal with more infantry that's showing up. And I'm going to make the remainder of them to be marines just in case air starts popping up or there's a transition of that. That was a concern of mine as a whole. But all in all, it does look like we're going to go ahead and wipe out the remainder of the units over here. He does have grenade ability, but that's about it. And this is going to be my cue to get rid of the mini base on this side of the map. Let's get our upgrades for the supply depots. And now let's go ahead and start getting the gens to get the upgrades that we need. So right now, we have destroyed practically everything that Red has. It is unknown what they still possibly have, but we do have 2 more gens that are coming up to help with the upgrades. And I don't know why we're not focusing on the mini base, but it is what it is. And we're going to just continue to get units inside these master doms, get Spartan morale, when really I could have gotten Omega team just in case. But all in all, I still think we're in a pretty spot. And so now I'm going to start getting turrets around my base. I'm at a very healthy pop. And because I'm at a healthy pop, I want to make sure that there's no flank or anything like that that's going to be showing up that can cause me to lose my army. I don't really want that to happen. And so we do have master doms. We're finally getting combat tech marines. And we're going to keep making some turrets just in case there's some counteroffensive that is being planned. But as of right now, I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable with my situation, mainly because I don't see anything that the enemy really has that can be scary. He's still producing Hellbringers with his barracks, and I think he's stuck in this tech way longer than what he should be, or she. And right now, it's looking very good for us. He keeps making units by the map, by that mini base. We're able to take that out. We're going to send this over to start grabbing another base. And now we're going to see if there's any expansion being set up by Red so far. So we're going to go ahead and transition over to the right-hand side to see if there's anything. And if not, then we're going to go ahead and see if there's another expansion going on. And then if not, we're going to go ahead and push the main base. So that's my thought process behind all of this. We do have a marine that's out to be able to capture those points. And there we go, we're getting more turrets up just in case, because as I said, I don't want a situation where they come in out of nowhere and I end up getting destroyed because of that. But all in all, no second expansion base, so that means all that's left is for me to go ahead and push the base. And so that is my full intentions. And so as I start pushing it, there we go. He ends up, or she ends up, resigning. So all in all, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If not, it is all good. I appreciate you for watching nevertheless. I went 23 for 80 that game, won that supply game, and barely lost that power game. But all in all, I want to show two different perspectives. That first ones game that I have shown was actually my first ones game in quite some time. So I want to see if I want to keep on doing this. Please let me know if you enjoy it. If you do, that is awesome. And I want to see if I can continue to try different types of game modes, maybe 2v2s as well. I do have one that I played with people in the side as well. So with that being said, hope you have a good one. Hope you have yourself a splendid one. And until next time. And I do have a Discord if you want to go ahead and hop in there and talk about Halo Wars 2 or any of the other games that I so happen to be playing, as well as game development as a whole. If you want to support that, feel free to go ahead and do so in the Game Dev channel or the Patreon. With that being said, have a splendid one. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.